Hey, so good evening, everybody from wherever you're tuning into. I'm so excited. This is amazing. Really nice to see you guys on. Thank you for tuning in, and welcome to Fierce Testimonies. This evening, we've done a couple of these in the past, and it's been really exciting. So my name is Leah Nokado. For those people who don't know, maybe you're tuning in for the first time and you're wondering, okay, what is all this about? You know, if you missed our last two lives, this is just like kind of a continuation. So just so that you understand, especially for the guys coming in for the first time, I'm an entrepreneur and I've been in the Forex trading for the last 20 months through an academy that I came across, in 2018. And it's been an exciting ride. I mean, most people who know me, my personal friends, my family, they know that I'm not a Forex person, I'm a writer by profession. That's what I studied for. That's what I did for the last 16 or so years. And so it's been amazing. It's been a fantastic journey. And I mean, in past lives, I've shared my story over and over again. So today is not really about me. Okay, today is just about just talking to people candidly and sharing and doing this through other people's stories. People who, for example, learned about IM Academy either maybe through myself or through somebody else, and they decided, you know what, why don't they come on board? People who never knew anything about Forex. I get this question all the time, like, Lillian, how did you manage to learn how to trade? And did you have a financial background? You're so good and everything. And there are similar stories, just like myself, people who just didn't know anything about trading. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And that's why it's called Fierce Testimonies, Forex Testimonies, So I hope you can enjoy it. I don't know how long it will run. We are hoping to just keep to the 1 hour minimum. And yeah, so the first person I want to bring on board. And before I do that, let me just also, I remembered something. I want to read a verse, and this is a verse in that, I mean, it's a verse in the Bible. I'm a person of faith, so I like to just share things. So there's this verse in the Bible that is Ecclesiastes. I hope I pronounced that right. I butcher that all the time. So Ecclesiastes 11, verse 2. Okay, and this is the NIV version that says, invest in 7 ventures, yes, in 8, because you do not know what disaster may come to your land. Now, guys, for me, when I learned about this academy, I was in disaster. Okay, many of you have heard my story. I was in disaster. And because I had not planned, I did not ever expect to find myself in financial distress. And when 2018 came knocking, it was just, it was incredible. Like, I didn't have an income. And by the time I was reading this verse the other day, and I was like, you know what? The reason why many of us around the world, many of us here in Kenya, like now we've been caught out, let's say some of us have been caught out with COVID and being at home and sometimes having to take home a half salary or just losing your job. And maybe you don't have a plan B like I did. It happened to me, and this is where Forex comes in. And we're not saying that we're here to try and tell you, please start trading or learning how to trade. No, we are saying that these things happen. Do you have a plan A? Do you have a plan B? Or do you want to be caught out and find yourself in disaster? So that's what we're talking about today. And so the first person I want to interview, or rather we're interviewing this evening, and I'll start with the ladies. I'll begin with Florence Wanyoni. I didn't tell her that I was going to bring her on board first. Now, I don't know this lady like beyond a couple of months ago, okay? So you'll hear a lot of stories where we just met each other in this platform. So Florence is that one person, but she's a phenomenal woman. I've gotten to know her a lot online. We've met a couple of times, and she has a medical background, and she just decided some time ago, to come on board, begin to learn how to trade. Okay, and it's so impressive to see how far she's going. And she's, and guys, this is also about family. So she's doing this with her family. Okay, and I don't want to tell her story. So Florence Wanyoni, the floor is yours. Feel free to get started. Yeah, and just let us know. Just give us a bit of background about yourself and how you learned about IAM, for example, IAM Academy, and then we can take it from there.
Wow, thank you so much, Lilia. I mean, it's such an honor actually to be on this platform. Like we said, we were not even expecting it, but here we are. So yeah, my name is Florence Onyonyi, and for sure, my background is medical. I have a degree in nursing, and I worked I got my degree actually in Texas, and for years I was working there. But then when I came back home, I also worked locally here in Kenya. But I realized that things are not really going the way I expected. So I ventured into business. So, guys, I've been in business like for the last 4 years, and I got involved with a multi-level marketing industry. So things were okay until about December of last year. Things were shifting, and as you know it, when you're in business, that is your income depends on it. And I didn't know whether I was supposed to move forward or stay and wait for things to change. But in the process of time, actually, my friends introduced me to Forex. The first thing that I thought was, oh my God, I mean, I must have like a math background, financial background. But then I realized they really pushed me. Honestly, I give it up to my friends. They were very aggressive with this situation. They're like, Flo, we know you can do this. You don't have to understand anything. But I was very, very skeptical. I was like, I'm not a math person. I have never known anything beyond, like the Forex world, other than going to the bureau and exchanging money every time I needed to travel outside of Kenya. So yeah, I was, the opportunity was kind of like just dumped upon me, but I embraced it. Within 24 hours, actually, of my friends really, impressing upon me, I was able to make a decision and I got started. So the one thing actually that really changed for me was within my first week, we have this incredible leader in Kenya. She's called Anne Shiro, and then there's Bernard Kirai. They were really very helpful in terms of teaching me what I needed to do. So within my first 7 days, actually, I was profitable. I invested very little money, Lilo. Probably I've never shared this, but I only invested $20 or
Wow.
22,000 Kenya shillings. Yeah, and I made a profit of 700 or $7, out of that. So that was the beginning of a new impression for me, and I was like, okay, then I could do this. Let me just so that was January of this year, January 21st. That is the day that I partnered with IM. Yeah, so we've been on lockdown, and I mean, staying home, man, who knew that life was going to change for us this year? Like, really shift. So, yeah, things were shutting down, and I could just really like now see the opportunity of I am being able to stay home and just take trade ideas, actually beginning from you, Lilo, and then going into the academy, learning from the master educators. It's really been incredible. Along the way, definitely. Our children have been home and whatnot. So yeah, I'm doing this with my daughter. She is 20 years old. She's in campus, first year. Guys, I'm so thrilled because I mean, I'm learning a skill with her. I could never have given her my job, or the way we say, you inherit your parents' things or whatever. So, I mean, I cannot inherit a job to my daughter, but this business is amazing because we can learn the same skill and just be good and go into the markets and get this money. So I think I can say that that's it. Right now, we are still in
Yeah.
the process of learning. Of course, I mean, you cannot be an expert in a few months. That's the beauty. And life is a journey. So even learning how to trade, learning how to tell others about the opportunity, it's just a process. But I'm so thrilled. And even though it has its ups, its downs, but I'm so grateful because we have great leaders here. Lilo, you being one of them. I mean, you know what is happening right now. We are so excited about the shift that is happening for us. We are so grateful. So if I had not held on and maybe given up the first 2, 3 months, and I'm thinking, okay, yeah, there are challenges, but yeah, so you guys have really helped me, and we don't meet a whole lot in person, but I mean, Zoom is incredible. We've met over and over, and just hearing from you guys has been phenomenal. So I'm looking forward for the
Yeah.
future. It just looks bright. Thank you.
And I think I mean, I'm just picking up on what you're saying. Like, we don't even necessarily meet in person on a day-to-day basis. I think after the whole, we're told to go on quarantine and everything, you find that we are always in the house, especially for me, for example. I mean, since COVID, I think I can count the number of times I've left the house. So it's just amazing to know that this is what this industry is all about. Like, it's giving you the time freedom. Like, I don't know if you guys ever thought about those days when you'd say you want to be wealthy, you want to be wealthy, but you also want time freedom. you know, and especially, you know, I know you're a mom, you're 20-year-old. I mean, how does it feel to just be able to trade with your 20-year-old daughter, you know, and make money together? I don't know if that's something you ever thought about. You know, most of the time as parents, we think about making the money for our children, but we never ever think that at a point, especially my background, that I'll be able to sit with my daughter and we're trading together. So how is that? How has that been for you? How is it for her as well?
Wow, Lillian, I think actually, like I said, Forex has been one of the most surprising things that I have bumped into. I didn't know God had such an opportunity for us, and that I'm so, so grateful, because like I said, you cannot, as a parent, you cannot inherit a job to your child. I mean, like my daughter, actually for her, she's not medical oriented at all. She's very creative. So her degree is in architecture. But for me, you know, I was on a different path. So here we are now. God has given us an opportunity where we merge our brains, and it's truly phenomenal, because now I don't have to worry about her inheritance. She can get wealthy on her own through the same platform as myself. And I think that's just the biggest blessing, because yes, as parents, we want to give our children the best. You know, no parent wants anything less for their children. But here I am now. I mean, we share the same visions. And actually for me, I am just goes beyond financial wealth. We're looking at the mentorship programs that are in this company. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's really, really top notch. So she gets to listen also to the great mentors that I listen to, people like Bob Proctor, who are, you know, part of this organization, part of this team. And like we know, all the great leaders, David Imoniti and whatnot. I mean, the mindset right now, it's just something that I'm awed. Very, very
Yeah,
inspired. I'm happy.
yeah.
Yeah, we do
Awesome.
it
Yeah.
together.
And you know, you just mentioned that she's doing architecture. So and this is something that I also want to highlight. Sometimes, you know, people are like, no, but I'm doing something else, I'm learning something else. And it's okay to do different things. It's okay to, you don't have to have nothing to do for you to decide to get into Forex, because a lot of people are like, I'm so busy, I don't have time. And it's okay. But you can be in a totally different field, but still continue. Like, she's still in school, right? She's still in her first year, she's studying and she's excited. But then in her free time, she's also learning how to trade. So at the end of the day, by the time she's graduating, guys, imagine your children would be graduating with two different skill set at the same time, and one can immediately help her to make an income as she waits for her career to kick off. And that's what I love about this. So thank you very much, Florence, for that. Really appreciate your time here, and you know, and I know we'll keep on doing this as we go along. So that's our first amazing lady. And the next person I want to bring on board now, this one is interesting for me because, again, I met him through this platform, and he's a young guy. I like to call him, he calls himself a Sifa. He's actually called Oscar Musini. I hope I pronounced that as well. And he loves to call himself a Sifa, but I like to add a Sifa, the gold master. And I think once you get to know him over time, you'll realize why we are calling him the gold master. Now, this guy is still in campus. Okay, he's like Florence's daughter, who is still in campus, studying and pursuing whatever he's pursuing. And I think I'll let him just let you guys know what he's actually doing in campus. But it's been phenomenal. I think I've just interacted with him for the last maybe 1 month or so, or 2 months, yeah, like really on a personal level. And I'm learning from him. Okay, a lot of people say I'm good at trading, but I listen to Asifa and the confidence he has, and I'm always like, I wish my daughter, by the time she's that age, she'll be like, yes, buy gold, sell gold, and things like that. So Asifa, maybe you can just unmute your mic, or yeah, and then you can just give us a bit of an idea of who you are. I know you're a student and everything, but beyond that, like, what were you doing before I am? What was your life like? And, you know, and what you're up to now?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Oscar. I'm still a student. I'm 2 months old in the business. I'm a second year at KCA University. I'm doing pure and applied mathematics. So
Sorry,
yeah, I pure and applied mathematics. Yeah, so I met IM through Thomas, though I had heard it long time ago, but I was young, so I could not even do anything about it. I had no money. I I was still in school. So yeah, so this time I had money, so I decided why not do it. So yeah, I've been wanting to learn. So yeah, I joined the academy and started. So it took me 4 days to go through like 200 videos because I never slept through the 4 days. Then after the fourth day, I was in the demo, made some profits. Yeah, I made a lot of profits. Then the next day after the demo, I was in the live account, and that night I made $38, withdrew it, returned it into my bank. So yeah, it's a journey, blowing accounts and starting again and learning. But for the last 2 weeks, I've not blown an account, and the last 3 days, I've grown my account by, I think, 12, 13%. Yeah, I have. And I have like some running trades, I even dress, but we are going up. So yeah,
Okay.
this is an amazing experience for me as a young person because I've just had someone else has hit Chairman 750, like 75 million Kenyan shillings in a month. By the time I get to his head, I might be there. So it's just consistent
Yeah.
efforts. So yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you for your attendance, for everything you're doing to us. And
Yeah.
yeah, be
Yeah.
blessed. Yeah.
Asifa, that's amazing. I mean, I need to put a disclaimer though. I know, Florence also mentioned some money, and Asifa has also said he grew his account his trading account by 12%. But I think it's important to also put a disclaimer, guys. We're not saying that you come in and that's the kind of income you'll be making from the get-go. I think it's very important. Like Forex is a real industry, it's a financial industry. The banks are involved in it, the hedge fund managers and the companies are involved in it. So the risks are there. Okay, so that's one thing I need to get out of the way. But I think also what maybe you can take away from that comment is that because we are a community, we are a global community, we are a local community. So yes, we are online and everything, but it doesn't matter where you are in the world. We are together, we learn together, we assist each other together. We have excellent master educators from all over the world speaking different languages, teaching different strategies, who will teach you at your pace. And someone like Asifa was able to pick this up and really become good at it. And so it's really been amazing. I think the question I'd love to ask him is, as a young person, because he's in campus, what happened? I mean, what kind of a challenge? How has it been challenging for you? Especially, you had to look for the money to get started with the academy and so on. So I just wanted, how has it been for you from that perspective as a student?
Okay, I never mentioned this, but I'm also a photographer. So at that time, I had the money. I was doing some. Okay, I also sell coffee, so I had some money in my account. So yeah, so it took me 3 days to think about it. Then I paid. But the challenge to many of my friends and to me also is patience. Kids like us, we want to like get the money like tomorrow, millionaire. So I'm still
Trust me, it's not
learning
just
patience,
kids.
so patience. So I'm learning patience, and yeah, hopefully as we go by and the journey, there are ups and downs. So that is what strengthens you, builds you and gives you a tough skin. So I'm grateful for that.
Wow, awesome. Thank you so much. And yeah, guys, you can see we have, young people here as well, who are also just killing it at this game and, just inspiring another generation of people because like we said, life is changing. The way we are going to be making money, our kids are going to be making money is very different. It's going to be, we need to equip them pretty early. I keep on saying I have a 6-year-old and I can literally teach her right now how to trade. I mean, if I had this skill when I was 6 years old, I think I'd be such a difficult child because I'd probably want to live on my own and do my thing. But it's empowering. It's empowering that you can leave this skill with our future generations. So thank you, Asifa, Oscar, Musimi. Thank you very much for that. And now I want to quickly bring up another gentleman. Also met him here. Mr. David Opondo. I may not know his background completely. We literally met, I think, a month ago. He reached out to me on Telegram, and the rest is history. So, David, if you can just talk to us.
Well, thank you very much, Lillian. I think one of the things that you don't know is that I attended a couple of Zoom calls incognito. You know, somebody added me into your channel,
Wow.
and through that now I could attend those Zoom calls incognito just to see what's happening, the way you people do it, and all that kind of a thing. So at some point, I think seeing how peeps were running and all that kind of thing, I said, okay, let me give this a trial. Well, my background is I'm a civil engineer by profession, and I run a business. That's what I've been doing for life for the last 10 years. And at some point, I tried to join IML through somebody, but it didn't quite work because of the nature of what I do. It was quite busy for me. So I just told him, okay, I enrolled actually, and I kept the thing. I went into the academy briefly, and the nature of my job could not allow me because I keep on running up and about all over, doing a lot of construction work. So I could not make my way into the academy. Then came this time when we had the lockdown, and I thought of, all this time, what am I going to do in the house? I mean, as you know, the kind of work that I do, you could not go out there to do any more of our activities because I was doing activities, all over in Malindi, Mombasa, Rift Valley, a couple of places, which right now is the time when these things are kind of coming back in a way. So I said to myself, probably what I would do is just to join in and get knowledge. For me, actually, the most important thing that was bringing me on was adding some little more knowledge into what I already have, and especially when it comes to making money, it was a good idea for me. So I said, why not give it a trial? And when I talked to Lillian, I was actually making some little inquiry just to find out more details. But as you know, she's Miss FIERRRCE. She did not she did not lose that opportunity to get me to join in and push me in and help me to get to learn one or two things here and there. It's been a journey of about a month right now. But what I can say, it has been very, very interesting, as opposed to probably what the stereotypes that I've heard from people. There was a great eye opener for me in terms of even seeing many other ventures, in terms of things that we can do through this platform. So I want to say we began from the academy, came into live trading. It was initially looking quite a challenge. I mean, the first week that I came in, the platforms were a bit challenging, and I was like, how do you enter and all those kind of things. About 2 days into trading, I think I realized there is a great possibility if you are keen and you play to the rules. And there you go. I decided now, let me pursue this even much more, even as I learn. And it's been an interesting journey with Lillian helping us to run through this and just to learn skill day by day, put a few things here to get here and there together. So I'm a family man with 3 boys and my wife, and we've this for me has been like there's a reason behind it, or rather there's a reason that I can put before me and say for sure that even if the other things, just like Lillian was saying, 7 ventures, I thought this would be quite a good one. And I was just saying to myself, I wish I could have learned this a little earlier. My boy came in one of the days and he was looking at what I was doing and he's saying, hey, you are trading. I see these charts. And for me, it became a little more, interesting, because getting to also probably just show them what is happening and all this. And we are growing in and looking forward to a brighter future. It's already becoming interesting in the trading community, doing a lot of, helping one another, and I believe that the sky is the limit. Looking forward to a greater future.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much. And I just wanted to find out, is there a product in the academy that you latched onto or you've been looking at and you think that it's been helping you, along your journey? What is your biggest highlight, like so far as you're learning and getting acquainted with everything?
I think the academy generally has been beautiful, has been very good. The lessons that we learned through, the 200 lessons and even the advanced ones have been good. And of late, Dolerian has been quite good. I've looked at it, and it's quite interesting. The educators also come in very handy. I think for the last 3 days, I've traded with Dr. Kathy, I've traded with Patrick Kenny, I've traded today. I traded with what's the name of this gentleman, the one that came around 2 o'clock. I traded with him, and it was quite interesting. US 30 and the way he analyzes, very interesting, very keen with the entries, and that was quite awesome. I mean, for me, it was an eye opener. So I made money with Patrick Kenya. I made money with today. I did NASDAQ with Dr. Kathy, and made more than what I lost at some time today, and it's quite interesting. NASDAQ was very, very good. So the academy is excellent. Actually, the wealth of knowledge that you find in the academy is something that is worth spending money in, even if you are not doing anything else. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And when you say that, it just reminds me, I have a friend of mine who, again, she was a stranger. She reached out to me on Facebook, and she got started in the academy 2 months ago. She's not on this call. She's supposed to be on this call, but she's not on this call. But I didn't know her. And for her, what she did was she just plugged into the academy right away from day one. 2 months in, and I'm talking to her. In fact, I kept on checking up on her, and she was very quiet. You know, sometimes when new people come in to learn, you don't know if they're quiet because they are stuck or they are frustrated or they've quit, So I just kept on checking up on her, and she says, don't worry, I'm okay. I'm actually okay. So I'd be like, okay. And you don't want to push, So eventually I had to ask her, like, how are things really doing? It's been 2 months. We haven't talked much. I just want to check up on you. And she's like, you know what, Lillian? I'm now following Dr. K. I know how to trade. And I'm like, what? How is that possible? 2 months? Guys, you need to understand that it took me 6 to 7 months to begin to understand trading with confidence. Like, it took me a while. So when somebody comes in and says 2 months and they're trading and they're able to withdraw some money on a daily basis, and for me, it was almost a year, or I feel like it was a year before I ever withdrew money from the market. So it also goes to show that it has nothing to do with anything. Like, it's nothing to do with your background. It's just how you take up this information. Remember, also for me, when I was coming in from a point of lack. I was financially stressed out. So of course I was desperate to make money quickly. So it all depends. People come in by the first month, they're doing well. Others take a bit of time. But the beautiful thing is, whatever time you take, as David, this is almost like his second attempt at just trying to learn this again, So it doesn't matter. Eventually, when you're in the right community, and I think in Kenya here, amazing community. I won't lie to you. It doesn't matter who you are, you'll be able to succeed. So thank you, David. Thank you so much for just being here and just saying yes to come and just share your story. I know sometimes it's very hard for men to be vulnerable. So I really appreciate that step. It's amazing. So the next person I want to bring on board, thank you. So the next person I want to bring on board very quickly is Floncy, Madam Floncy. I can see she's relaxed there. This lady is hilarious from here to I don't know where. I can tell you for sure, she cracks me up every day. Again, I met her here, and I honestly don't know her that well on a personal level, so I don't even want to lie about that. But I know her. We've talked on Zoom so many times. Her voice is just you know, big and exciting, and she's always laughing. But we trade together, and she's doing pretty well. Like, she'll tell you how her journey. So Floncy, just go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Lilo, and good evening, each one of us. Okay, personally, I'm Flonzi. I'm banker by profession, and to start with, I worked in a bank for 7 years until last year, June, when I felt that things were not working my way, and I was like, life was not, I was not able to meet my hands, even as in out of the salary I was getting. And that is when I woke up and I decided to have a registration of my company, of which I started running my errands, other businesses like supplies and all that. And from there, by end of June, I just resigned and I said enough is enough. Let me get to the world of business and start doing my own things fully. So I started doing my businesses, and by the end of the year, I was like, okay, the business was not too good as I anticipated it to be. And I was like, I still wanted to look for something else as much as I was doing supplies. And as we know, when you do supplies, sometimes you do supplies and you have to wait for payment, maybe for months for you to get paid. And in that case, you need to continue running your life as usual. So in that case, I felt that I really needed to have another business on board, of which I was in the process of looking even early this January. And that is when I came across IAM through Degwa Migwi, who is on this call, courtesy of one of us who is our leader in Kenya, that is Shiro and Bernard. And when Degwa invited me to his house and get to listen to this opportunity, I went there with a hope in mind, and I was like, I want to hear if this is something I can venture into, because already I felt I still needed to do something extra apart from what I was doing. So when I went there, listened to this, I had worked for 7 years in the bank, but I did not know that I was in a position to make money out of Forex using my phone. I knew the bank we used to do the Forex, we could be given targets on bringing Forex income and all that. But all you know, sometimes I will not even do much of it, because that was not only the parameter that I was supposed to meet. So when I had this, I was like, and because I was even stubborn in a way that I did not know whether this thing was really working. In that case, Migwi pushed me on this, and then finally I just say, let me sign up, then I'll see if it works or if it doesn't work. So I signed up, and then I just plugged into the academy within 1 week. I had already listened to all those videos, and I had started trading in a demo, and I was like, a demo, I'm making money, but I did not like the part of inviting and all that. So that was one of my challenges. But now when I found myself in the real trading in the real account, and I saw myself trade, and I met my 1,000 shillings, I was like, wow. So this thing, I can be able to make this money just seated in the house, just like that. And at that point of time, we were trading from his house, and everyone was very happy, and we could trade as a community. And we were like, oh, this thing, out of that community and all that, the relationships and the interactions, I started loving this business. So with time, we continued like that, and then we found ourselves in quarantine. To me, this is the time I've even found myself liking this business, because I have small children, 3 in number. I'm ever with them in the house currently. I make money seated in my bedroom. Like now, I'm just, you find myself, I'm trading. I'm able to look after my children. I make sure they have eaten. I don't take any of them to hospital, because I ensure they are well taken care of, kept warm and all that. So to me, this has just turned around my life. And I think actually Losa easy akiniambia this thing doesn't work. Even if she gets frustrated, I don't think I can ever get frustrated. So Lillian, you've even supported us in this business by giving us trading trades, teaching us how to trade. And like now, as we are trading as a community, I get to read those. I hear you telling us, no, that candle is looking like this. We cannot enter like. And I'm learning so much, even when I'm behind the scenes. I'm learning so much and getting to understand this market in a better way. And I think with this Forex thing, the sky is the limit.
Wow, thank you so much. Wow, thank you so much, Floncy. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know if you guys caught that, but Floncy was in the banking industry for 7 years. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the fact that I mean, I have a brother in the banking industry, and he's been there for, I mean, since he finished campus, I mean, almost, and he's been there for many, many, many years. And the interesting thing is, I don't know if he trades Forex, but the thing is, even if you work in the bank, you may not even know that you're able to literally trade currencies. When I heard that the first time, I was like, that's ridiculous. Like, how is that possible when we know that now I know that banks literally trade Forex, and you work at the bank and you don't know. And this is how it is, guys. There are people in the banks called dealers, and maybe there are experts here on the call who are looking at me and saying, don't say anything because you don't have a background. But I've learned this just talking to people in the industry, and there's a dealing room. You can go there and negotiate for your dollar when you're traveling or you want to exchange your currency. And they're called dealers or Forex traders. And later on, I'm going to bring up a banker to just confirm what I'm saying. You could have your money lying dormant in the bank, earning its interest, whether it's 8% a year in a fixed deposit account or whatever percentage, 2%, 3%, whatever percentage your bank gives you. And you could be very excited about it. But do you understand that they have a legal mandate to trade your money and make billions, if not millions, from your deposits lying dormant in the bank? And guess what? This academy is just saying, we are going to teach you what the banks do. We have educators who literally say, come, let's learn how to trade like the banks, and the entry is just, let's say, put an amount of $100 minimum. There is someone here who's talking about they started with like 50, I think, was it $50? I began with $50 because I didn't have the cash, I borrowed it. So can you imagine the power? Like you have this information, but because you're not in the right space, you can't participate. And that's what this call is about, guys. It's just to make this information available. Some of you maybe have heard about Forex, maybe you've been skeptical and everything, but we are here and you can hear people just saying, hey, we're now doing it and we didn't know anything. So thank you, Floncy, for that. And now I'll quickly bring on board Mr. Jeremiah Kendago. And this goes really well because I've just been talking about the banking industry. And let me tell you something about Jeremiah. I met him, I mean, this is personal for me because I met Jeremiah, I think, how many years ago? I don't want to say 20 years ago, but it feels like it was 20. I mean, it was a long time ago in 2006, I think. So you guys do the math. And I think I just finished campus, maybe 1 year or 2 years. And please just don't add how old I am. But yeah, I just finished campus and I was clueless about what I wanted to do. So I tarmacked for a couple of years, 2 years, I think. And then I was introduced to a company called, I think it was Tianchi. And Jeremiah was there and everything. And I used to listen to him speaking, and I knew he was a banker and he was, doing really well and everything. And I listened to him speaking and say, when I grow up, I want to be like Jeremiah. Let me tell you, this gentleman, honestly, he is phenomenal. Now, he's been a banker for the longest time. I won't really say all his story, but he's an amazing leader. He's now, leading us in Kenya in trading. And he's actually very good in something called binary, which is also part of Forex. So Jeremiah, I know I haven't done any justice introducing you, but I'm really humbled to have you. I used to look up to you and just wish I could be like you. And now I have an opportunity to work with you every day and learn from you. Like, he brings another perspective to trading as a banker that I don't know where I'd get that from. So thank you, Jeremiah. And you can just unmute yourself and just give us your story. Like, why Forex? I mean, you're in the bank, you are trading, for the banks. So yeah, why Forex?
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's really a great privilege to be on this platform right now, sharing my testimony, especially with respect to foreign exchange, and to be bare and say exactly as it is. I'll try and quicken up my story. Of course, you can imagine I have so many stories spanning those more than 20 years. And even beyond that. Let me just quickly say that when I left campus, I became a teacher for 2 years. Then I joined the bank. I don't have a background in economics or finance and things like that. But incidentally, during our time, somebody like me who did physics could actually be employed in the bank. And that's how I got employed. And for the first about 4 years in the bank, I was in the IT department. Then one day, they just posted me to the dealing room and told me that I'm a dealer. All right, that's now my new designation. So I went to the dealing room, not knowing anything that happens in the dealing room, okay? So I learned the ropes on how to deal, how to price customers in foreign exchange, whenever customers need dollars, whenever customers have dollars to sell to the bank. That's what we did, and that's how we make money in the bank. But it was not until around the year 2000 and 2005, around there, that I came across trading Forex for myself. Okay, I actually didn't know that somebody could trade Forex and make money for himself. Because I knew it was a preserve of the banks. I mean, banks were the ones who are dealing in Forex for customers. Now, my story on Forex, dealing Forex for myself, has been a love-hate relationship. And I think probably that's what I want to maybe say here. But just to bring in the picture that you brought in about the industry that we met earlier, about Tianchi and so on, it's also another long story about me and money, in the sense that when I joined the bank, okay, I got married, I got children. Then for some reason, we decided as a family that I was the only breadwinner, okay? My wife graciously accepted to take care of our children, and that was a fantastic thing that I really liked about that scenario. But of course, you realize what that also meant. It meant that income was a strain. By the way, bankers don't make a lot of money the way we think. In fact, the only advantage a banker has is that he is paid earlier than everybody else. Bankers are normally paid on the 24th instead of 31st or even the next month. We are always paid earlier. Okay, that's the only advantage. And I think that gives bankers a psychological comfort that they're in a comfort zone. And that is why, in fact, what scared me the most is that, and I learned this, that bankers, when they retire, don't live more than 2 years thereafter. They actually just decide and go, all right? So I was actually very scared every time I was in the bank, knowing that when I retire, I have a lifespan of 2 years out here. So anyway, so I decided to be thinking about entrepreneurial aspects and so on. And that's why I did Tianchi, even when I was in the bank. And Tianchi worked out for me. I had done many other companies there before, but Tianchi actually cracked for me. And within 2 years, I had grown a team of more than 6,000 people in 2 years. And although there was no money in that company, and that is why with time, I realized that this industry of referral network industry is a very tricky industry, because sometimes you may do a lot of work and not make a lot of money. So that was another love-hate relationship on that particular aspect. And so I learned and I said, no, I'll stop that kind of business. And for almost 20 years, I stopped doing network business. So the issue of foreign exchange kept on coming. Now, let me come back to when I started trading for myself, which was around the year 2000 and something. Somebody introduced to me, and I started with $1,000, which was a lot of money at that time. I invested $1,000, and within 3 days, I had tripled that money. Now, when I met the person who introduced me, he told me, please withdraw that money. Let's take some lunch. Now, I was wondering, this guy wants me to withdraw mine. I have tripled the money in 3 days. I want to grow this account to $100,000 in the next maybe 1 month or so. Little, of course, did I know that before the week ended, I had lost everything. And so that started my journey of how do you trade Forex and become a consistent winner instead of making money today and tomorrow you lose. Making money today, tomorrow you lose. To fast forward my story, in 2012, of course, I tried Forex. I mean, I kept on losing money. I come back again. I learn a new strategy. I come back. I lose money again. In 2012, around 2012 towards 2013, I came across binary trading. When the first binary trading hit the market, okay? And that, I thought I had hit the nail on the head. I thought now I will be a rich person because it sounded very easy. You only needed to predict whether the price will be higher or lower. So I did the binary. Now I lost more money within a very short time. And in fact, I decided that this is enough. So when I took my first early retirement in 2013, incidentally, for some reason, you keep on gravitating to the same thing. So a friend of mine whom we had met in some seminar that he had organized about foreign exchange came and told me, no, let's come together and do algorithmic trading. Okay, if you know what algorithms is, you basically just write code on computer, and the computer will trade for you, and you make money. And then we trade for people, and then we make money. It sounded interesting. Then he told me, oh, we will also be training people. In fact, let me just mention here that many people make money in this industry by just teaching other people. They charge you money, they teach you, but at the end of the story, they don't make money themselves. Those they teach don't make money themselves. So, but anyway, I liked the idea. We started a company and we started training people. And we made some money for almost 2 years. It sustained us and so on when I was in the first early retirement. Then I got back employed at the bank. So I left that particular company that we had started with this friend of mine. By the way, he's doing very well right now. He's very good in coding. He's very good in training. He's very good in training people. He's still going on with the same. So let me come back now to where I am right now. We met again with Lillian in 2018, initially when she tried to tell me about this. Incidentally, she was not the first person to tell me about IAM platform. Somebody else had tried to tell me, and I dismissed them with a lot of cost. In fact, I told them, please, if you are making money, just go and make money, because I knew people just do the networks and they don't make money actually trading. So in fact, when Lillian actually, you introduced me to this and told me, I respected you because I think we've interacted and I knew you are a very honest person and so on. And every time you tell me about something, I always give you an ear because I know you mean it with the whole of your heart. But you introduced me to this guy from the US and you called me for a webinar where he was talking so loudly, and I was wondering, what's wrong with this guy? Does he know that you don't make money the way he's so simply just saying that you make money? In fact, at that time, I just dismissed you, and I didn't want even to hear about that Forex that you are talking about. I actually didn't even stay to the end of that Zoom call. I closed the Zoom call and disappeared. But you persisted. I think you came back again. I think now, incidentally, of course, I had started pursuing another arm called option trading, okay? And now you came, and that was the killer punch for me. You came with trades that were live on your screen that were in profit. And you didn't even do a presentation. What you actually asked me was, can I close these trades? Now, the trades were in profit. I just told you close them. And when I told you close them, you also closed me in, and I became a member in, that was in May last year. Now, to fast forward, I actually came to learn on the platform that actually people really actually make money in the industry. The top traders that actually train people on this particular platform actually make money. And now that's now what transformed me completely. And so to fast forward now, I have been plugged onto the platform, learning how to, Dr. K trades, Basco Hitman. I have followed him. So many of them, Tyrone Foster, so many of these guys. In fact, I am amazed at people like Bell Cravel, okay, who can look at a chart and tell you this is where the market is going, and he will send you the picture of that and how he has drawn how the market goes. The next day, when you actually look at that chart, that is exactly how the market has gone. Amazing, 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 amazing. So to cut the long story short, I have, early this year, I met Matthew there on the HFX platform. And what amazed me is the fact that he grew an account of $500 to $1.2 million in only 1.5 years. Now, that is quite amazing for me. And so I was sold into it. And around March this year, I started doing HFX again, which is binary. Remember, the one that I had actually lost a lot of money. Okay, I started doing it, and it has been quite profitable. It is quite scientific. The platform gives you all the tools, and you trade with the top traders. I mean, this platform transforms lives every single day. And it has transformed me. And right now, if you have a business that can give you 2% growth every single day, okay, like today, I actually did, I don't even want to say this figure. By the way, I grew my account, I think over 15%, okay, today only, all right? And that is quite amazing. I mean, so if you can grow your account at 2% every day, in financial terms, that is too good. That is very good. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, I know I can speak up to tomorrow.
Oh wow, you can imagine. I mean, this is amazing. Kendago, thank you very much for that. I mean, just because of time, I can't really go into everything you said, but you know, something I want to also again bring out again, disclaimers, guys. I really need to bring. I know Kendago is passionate. Because you know things are now working out for him because he's really been on a journey of trying to learn this thing called trading. But of course, this is a financial industry. Past results do not guarantee future results. So yes, just know what you're getting into when you come in. If you need a financial advisor, go find one. Yeah. Absolutely. So but basically, something he talked about that I want to say before I move on to the last person is he mentioned something that reminded me that, guys, I need to mention this. This is not a get rich quick scheme. You're not going to come in here and begin to make money tomorrow. I need to emphasize that because my experience with Forex has not been very good for very many reasons, because I was made to believe that I could become wealthy overnight. Currently, I'm still on a journey to wealth, okay, and wealth, financial independence. I'm not yet there. But there are people who out there, especially here in Kenya locally, we've had so many sad stories that, you know, just cloud the industry and make it look like it's just a whole scam. But guys, I can tell you, I've been there, I've done that, I've lost money to those scams and whatnot. But what we're talking about here is not that. We're talking about a skill that once you learn, it's like riding a bicycle. Nobody can take it away from you. So I just want to emphasize that because Kendago mentioned it as he was talking about, you know, just how his impression was initially. And that's really the case. So thank you so much, Kendago. And I really appreciate your time. Of course, I really look up to you, and I'm really happy we're doing this together. And, you know, you and your experience, it's amazing. So the last person I want to bring on board, because of time, literally, guys, I know we are running out of time. Just bear with us. We are almost done. This is a gentleman who I'll forever keep on saying he's amazing. He's called Simon Degwa Megwi. and I'll try and tell him to just, speak for like a brief few minutes so that we don't run over time too much. But I also don't want to rush him because I know that he brings a lot of knowledge to us as members in this community locally. He has a vast experience in this industry. And I was honored to be introduced by him to him by one of my friends. I mentioned her earlier, I think, Anne Shiro. We do a lot of things together in IAM. So Uncle Migwi has been able to just grow, introduce a couple over 100 Kenyans into this industry. I don't know if you guys understand what that means. The average income of Kenyans on average, according to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, is $500 monthly. That's the average income, 50,000 shillings. I don't know, guys, but it's almost sinful that that's what's happening in our nation, and things are not easy. They've not been easy, and Uncle Migwi has just transformed lives just like that, over 200 lives. So I just want him to speak about why he's doing this. He's also doing this with his sons. He has a couple of boys who are also trading. So Uncle Migwi, you're the final speaker this evening. I will not tell you to keep it short, but I'll ask you to not be too indulgent and extend too long so that you don't keep our listeners too long. But yes, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Lillian. And yes, our viewers, as you've heard, my name is Simon Degwa, and it's always an honor and privilege to be able to share my story. And I really like to thank all the panelists on this call. And just to mention, JKK, you've literally torn me apart with your story. I laughed so hard, I even teared up because it was nothing but the truth, and I like it. And a little about me, my background. I've been in the public sector for close to 30 years now. And I've done a couple of businesses here and there. And like 10, 15 years, I majored in real estate. And then something happened, a pullback, like we say in trading. And we suffered a drawback, and we lost some properties. That was back in 2011. And that loss, although it was a major loss, for me, looking at it now through the eyes of knowledge, now I see I was just being prepared for something big. And it so happened that in 2012, 2013, I went to do some assignments in London. And it was there that in 2013, end of 2013, I was introduced to a company in the name of network marketing business. And before then, I had zero experience. I didn't know anything. I was just like any other Kenyan, the way they hear network and they learn for their life. They don't want to engage you in any matter, but I don't blame them, because I was there before 2013. So many companies came. I remember I had friends who were doing GNLD. I was introduced to GNLD in 1996. It didn't go far. I was introduced to, I don't want to mention any other company, but I knew. And what comes to me now, because now I'm more aware, is the place where our people are. They are not aware of the information that we have. And the people who are in this industry, we have a duty. It's not a job. It's a duty to educate our people, because I don't want to call it the lack of knowledge. I don't want to call it ignorance, but we have work to do because we are not there. We are not yet there. And I'm a true believer that the challenges that we are going through, it requires our people to be able to solve those challenges. It doesn't require an outsider to come and correct what we are going through. So coming back to speed, because I see we don't have much time. I have 3 minutes, 2 minutes to be precise. I was introduced to this amazing company, and I had only one question. I asked that friend of mine who was a doctor, show me one person who is winning in this company. And I was connected to one of my mentors. I came to respect her so much. She was working for the federal government of the US then. And I said, I want to talk to her on a speakerphone. And I said, I want to know for sure. And of course, I partnered with that company. It was not cheap. You had to spend like $1,500. And I don't regret a bit, because through that company, I've been introduced. I've been so blessed because I've been able to meet and sit and dine with the greatest, some of the greatest minds in this world. I remember one of my mentors was earning in a month $1 million in dollars, 100 million Kenyan shillings. And I was so privileged in 2016 to host him here in Kenya and with a few friends. Coming to speed, why I am. I have a niece, and I love my niece. But like anybody else, I didn't think somebody who is younger than me can introduce me to a business. That is exactly where I was. And for a whole year plus, she was on my case. Like, Uncle, you need to see what we are doing. We are earning money here. It's so easy. And I used to see people trading. I used to see when you go on online, you go on Facebook, IG, you see these people who are earning money and they are enticing you. But I knew it was not easy. And for me, I would see that I would look the other way. So when my niece was telling me about this venture of how they are earning money, for me, I was like, no. But something happened. I've been in this company that I was talking about for 7 years. In September last year, something started happening, and it was quite a challenge. And we were talking to a few people, and solutions were not coming. So the timing of the opportunity, as they say, exactly at that point when we were going through difficulty, that is when my niece now caught fire. She was so infectious, talking about this, everything. And to a point of talking to her dad, and I respect her dad so much. So one day the dad calls me and he's like, Simon, you need to listen to my daughter. If you don't help my daughter, who do you think, do you want her to go back home? And of course I said, yes, cousin, I'm willing to listen to her. So I gave her a coffee date. And I told her, I want to see your mentor, the person who has taught you how to trade. And of course, she came along with Bernard Kelaise, the leader in this market. And of course, I listened to them because I've done my research here and there. And all I was interested in is the compensation plan. I'm just trying to rush through. And when I looked at it, and of course, I did my background check, and I realized some people who we were with in the other company, they were doing this. And I went back to my emails, my messages. Most of them, they were trying to reach out to me. But I was so sold on the other company because it was about health and wellness. And I have my purpose in life is to help as many people as possible acquire 3 things. Number 1, they eradicate poverty. Number 2, ignorance. And number 3, diseases. I've been a staunch believer that those solutions, they are with me, and through the right partnership, we will be able to deliver our people from the shackles of diseases, poverty, and ignorance. So when I listened to BK and all these, I had only one agenda. I called my guys, people we've done other businesses with, and I asked them, can you meet me in my house? And 12 of those guys, I called 20 guys. Out of 20, 12 showed up. And I asked Anshiro, can you come with BK? And they came. and they did a presentation to us. And most people were thinking that I had gone ahead and joined, so that no. I needed to indulge them and for these guys to help me evaluate. And if we were making a mistake, I was not going to make this mistake alone. We were going to partner with this guy. We were going to work with them by and by. But we had one thing in common, that we know in any undertaking, there is what we call the growth curve. And most people, they try as much as possible to avoid that growth curve. So when we came here, I prepared my guys and I told them, we are going to stick here for another 18 months. We've just been here like just under 6 months, because we started on January 15th of this year, 2020. And it so happened this pandemic came, and it so happened that the whole world was locked down. So what did I do? I introduced my boys. I have 4, and one is 6, another one is 10, 13, 17. And I realized, what a better venture than this to teach them about finances right now. So we are learning. We are in the curve, learning curve. I cannot sit here and tell people how we've earned a million. No, we are learning every day, and we are prepared to be trained. We are prepared to be coached, and we are prepared to be taught. And what have come, the greatest benefit, number one, is who we are becoming, so that we are able to achieve the outcome from this industry. Because when I do my research, the most of the wealthiest people in this world, like now Warren Buffett, they've created their wealth from hedge market. They're in this market. So if they've been able to do it, if only we can be able to learn. So the person we are becoming, so that we are able to handle the success that is coming. Number two, the greatest benefit I've seen in this industry is not that large amount of money, is to see a majority of my group, which is more than 200 people now, being able to earn $2, $3, $4, $7, a max of $10 in a day. To me, that means everything, because I know the situation which our people are going through. And I know with $2, $3, you can be able to feed off your family. And because we are out of time, Lillian, I really, really respect you for being part of this ecosystem, the social support, the emotional support, and we can even go to the extent of financial, because if somebody can start a trading account with $20 and you help their hand and you teach them how to go through this. So I'm so excited about the community, about what is about to happen in Kenya and abroad, because our vision, when I look at Africa and I look from Cape Town all the way to Cairo, and in terms of population, those are 2 billion people. And when I look at the resources that we have here, the 2 skills, skill number 1, learning how to trade, and skill number 2, building a residual income. When I look at those 2 names, residual income, I can only compare those 2 words with God's love. So I'm so happy and grateful, number 1, to God, number 2, to all of you members, and number 3, to our audience for tuning in and listening to us. I really hope that we can continue with this conversation. We have so much in store. We have so much experience to share with you guys, but I can't wait to embrace all of you on this venture. Thank you so much.
Wow. And you guys can see why I left him for the last, you know. Wow, thank you so much. You know, as you were talking, I was just internalizing every single thing you were saying, and I was almost tearing. You know, I can be emotional because I'm just thinking about the impact that we can make. You know, like when I think about it, honestly, it's incredible. Some of you may be listening to me and you're just thinking, okay, maybe we're just talking and we're just giving you stories. But I remember when I was living with my friend, January 2019, guys. January 2019. We're now in 2020. So it was just the other day. And it was because I had been thrown out of my house because I just didn't have money anymore. I had lost all of it the previous year. And when I think about it, I feel like breaking up now as Uncle Migu is talking, because somebody decided to open their mouth and reach out to me. And that's why we do this, guys, every day. That's why we talk about what we do. It's not because we are coming to tell you we are making money. No, some of us may not even be making a cent, but this business is not about us. And Uncle Migu said it very well. This is about God as well. This is about what we can do as individuals to impact people out there. And if you're, again, like I say, if you're a person of faith, whatever you believe in, whether you believe in God, don't believe in God, doesn't matter, but you believe in something, you have a purpose, you have a responsibility to go out there and impact people positively, and go out there and change lives. And you can change your own life. Some people just don't make this decision because of fear. Some people are afraid to take the leap. I was afraid because I was like, will this work? Some of you are on your last coin, maybe. I don't know, because of COVID and everything. Some of you are probably just thinking, how can we change? How can we change what we're doing? How can 2020 be the year? Let this be the last year, guys, that we are saying this is my year. Let every year going forward, you have this information. It's up to you to make up your mind, okay? We're not telling you come on board, no. This specific session was just to introduce you to the stories. And like now you're seeing we're about maybe 6 of us. One day, maybe we'll be 100 stories. One day we'll have seminars online with millions of Kenyans just all saying the same thing, and we can begin to change our economies. We don't always have to keep on depending on people out there, the leaders, to give us what we need to sustain our lives. We can do it from the bottom up. So guys, that's what Forex Fierce Testimonies is all about. As you know, my slogan is, I am fierce, I am fierce, we are all fierce, we are fierce and beautifully and wonderfully made. And our purpose here on earth is just to make an impact. So let's go make an impact. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being on this call this evening. For all the people who have spoken, you guys, thank you on short notice. You just decided, you know what, Lilo, will back you up, we'll do this. Thank you so much for helping me just, take this out to Kenyans and everyone who's listening in. So thank you. And to our sound technician in the background, he doesn't like to show himself, but this guy has been a solid foundation for me mentally. Trading, he's a phenomenal trader as well. I just want to mention him because it's because of him we've been able to do this live. So Paul Okello, thank you very much. And it's a wrap, guys. We'll see you in the next edition of Fierce Testimonies. More stories from Kenya, from around the world, just talking about Forex and how it's impacting our lives. So thank you and have a lovely evening. Bye.